Hello, today I'm going to be talking about hemostasis. Hemostasis is the process the body has to stop bleeding in case of an injury. And there are three stages that the body has for this. The first stage is vascular spasm. So vascular spasm is when the vessel constricts and it gets smaller. So the lumen gets smaller, so not as much blood will gush out. Just like in a pipe, when you close the pipe, it gets smaller. So this is a temporary measure, but it's a way to control it until the next step comes along. The second step or the second stage is the platelet plug. Now, under normal circumstances, you have the blood vessels, and the lining of the vessels are coated with prostacyclin. Now, this they call it like a slick substance. So basically, what it does, it prevents the platelets from aggregating or accumulating in an area where there's no reason to accumulate because there's no damage there. You don't want the platelets to aggregate there because they're gonna obstruct the flow of blood. You want blood to flow freely. But so you don't want that, right? But when there is damage, what happens, like for example, a cut, so the lumen of the vessel gets cut, and then this in turn activates the prostacyclin. The prostacyclin is going to expose the fibrin, the collagen fibers out, and then platelets are going to come. Now, they're not going to attach to any other area where there's no need. They're going to attach to where the collagen fibers are. More platelets are going to come along, and they're going to attach, and they're going to create a plug. So this is a kind of like a seal, but it's also a temporary seal. Now, again, this is going to be until the third stage comes along. The third stage, which is permanent, and we will see why, is coagulation. Now, this stage involves two pathways, and is very involves many steps. But what we want to say about this is that the final step is a fibrin clot that is created by fibrin fibers that are going to intermesh in that clot and create a permanent seal. Now, for this, like I said, there's two pathways. There's the extrinsic pathway, which is when factors outside of the blood activate this pathway, and there's also the intrinsic. This is when the factors are inside of the blood. Now, through many steps, they're gonna unite, and I'm gonna show you. So basically here we have the extrinsic and the intrinsic. The extrinsic, you have factor 7, factor 5 also aids in making the factor 7 complex. But basically you have the factor 10 is activated by, factor 10 by tissue thromboplastin, calcium, and factor 5. And on this side, you have factor 12, activated factor 11, factor 9, and so on and so forth. But what I want to say about this one is that you have the platelet phospholipids, the calcium, and the factor 5, which they're gonna use the factor 10, becomes activated factor 10, and they're gonna use that to make the prothrombin activator. Now, the prothrombin, by the prothrombin activator, is gonna become thrombin. Now, this thrombin, in the presence of calcium, okay, is gonna make the fibrinogen become fibrin, and there you have your fibrin clot. So these are the steps involved in coagulation. Now, besides this coagulation, you have your seal clot, and it's going to be there until it's time for the tissue to be repaired. Now, tissue repair happens when the moving fibroblasts are going to come along into the damaged area, okay, and they're going to repair the damaged area. The connective tissue is going to create new connective tissue where there was damaged tissue, and also the endothelial cells are going to come to the torn area. They're going to proliferate, which means make new ones around the torn area, and everything is going to be nice and new. And also we're going to talk about the clot, how the clot gets dissolved. This process is called fibrinolysis, and sorry. And fibrinolysis is the dissolution of the clot. What happens is that you have plasmin. Plasminogen gets activated into plasmin, and plasmin, what it does is basically hydrolyzes the clot. The clot becomes little pieces, it disappears in the blood, and or it can be phagocytized. Okay, I'm gonna show you a little chart that I have also for this. I hope it can be seen. But basically, thrombin, factor 12, and lysosomal enzymes. So what they do, they convert the plasminogen into plasmin. I hope it can be seen. And also here you see the plasmin converts the fibrin into little clots, which means it dissolves. It dissolves the fibrin. Okay, and that's how the fibrinolysis happens. Okay, all right, thank you.